and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. This is episode 4. It is Monday, March 19th. Look, I knew what day it was. I get a gold star! And I could put it on the calendar because I know what day it is, yo. I am Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Plurk and Ravelry. If you'd like to contact me there, please feel free to do so. I enjoy hearing from all of you. Really, I do. It's so pleasant. I'm all like sludging through the real world, like blah, blah, cook some dinner, blah, do the work, blah. And then the computer's like, oh, look at you, nice knitting virtual people have said hello. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much nicer than my blah. So, welcome to my show. I do that a lot where I rant. Welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. If this is your first time, double thank you. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I always do. That's all that matters, right? Yeah. So, what's been going on this week, you say? I would say it is Indiana, and it has been 70 degrees for an entire week. This may be a sign of the apocalypse, or perhaps that the Mayan calendar is correct and the world will end in May of 2012. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's freakishly warm, y'all. I've been doing the outsidey things, so I'm looking a little flush-de-doo. Yeah. I have glow-in-the-dark transparent skin, so the sun makes me go redness. So, welcome to the summer that's going to be your life, watching me very red. Whatever. I'm sure you have like a color filter or something. You can make me orange. That'd be exciting. Blue. Orange. No, I don't know. So, yeah, it's been stupid warm. It's just been really great. My little person, who is kind of, I'll just say it, she's kind of like a dog. You need to walk her every day. Otherwise, she's wackadoo and she chews on the furniture. Not really, but she probably would if she had better incisors. So, anyway, so we've been having lots of outsidey goodness, which has been fabulous. But I do want to tell you one little short story, which is not totally mom-centered. It's just me. There are children around me, but not about mothering. Anywho, we were at this park, and last fall we went to this park, and they have like a creek that runs through the park. And there's like a little sandy place where you can walk down, and there's lots of little mussel shells all over the sandy place, which was very exciting for my child because she can go a little like OCD about strange things. Usually she's kind of like me where she's like ding, 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 ding. But then she's like hyperfocus. And she hyperfocuses about finding shells. So I took her here thinking I will sit on a random stump and knit and she can look at shells. And I was like, that sounds fabulous. So we did that. Okay, so it had just gotten warm that day. It had been not warm. So that's the beginning of the story. We're down there, we're looking at shells, la la la. I had us wear sandals. I had her roll up her little britches because I figured she might step into the water, knowing her. And like we were wearing sandals, so I figured that way our feet and shoes would not get soggy. So I was kind of prepared. Yay, go me. I am often not. And so she was out looking for the shells, and she would not get into the water because I kind of stepped into the water tentatively. And let me just tell you, I'm not great at geography, but I didn't know there were glaciers in Indiana. Evidently they are. Because glacier feed off cold. Freezing. And so we did all this, ooh! Sorry, that was probably loud in your earbuds. Warning, that's going to happen probably more. So we did a lot of like, it's too cold. It's too cold. And we would go back on the sand. She was still looking for little shells. So, etc., etc. Time goes on. Lovely mother of 4 or 5 children, I lost count. She probably doesn't know either, quite frankly, comes walking along the little trail, and I see them, and they're all like, and they're like banging things with sticks, and they like come down to the little creek, and these children are just beautiful. They range in age from like 3-ish to like 9-ish, and they're wild. And I don't mean wild in like a bad way, not like a judgmental way. I mean they're wild like they're children of the forest, and elves sit on their shoulders and tell them stories and make them thingies for their hair out of flowers, and they ride unicorns and like that kind of wild. like that admirable wildness that I can never achieve because I'm too uptight. But anyway, so they all like come tromping down the thing and they're all and they're very lovely and beautiful. And me and my also kind of uptight child are looking for tiny shells. Anyway, so we're all like, oh yeah, we're looking for shells. And they're like, oh yeah, we're looking. Da, 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 da. So the little girl who is, I'm guessing, 9, 8, 9, homeschooled kids, because it was the week and they were homeschooled, because you don't get that beautiful wildness from public school. I went to public school. You don't get that there. So they were homeschooled, and like the mom was all beautiful, like slightly hippie-ish, like with her pretty hair. Also maybe with twigs in it. I'm not sure. I didn't want to look too much because that would make me look crazy. So the little girl just like tears into the creek, just like bolts in there. No warning. She's got shorts on because it's warm enough. Doesn't like, no shock. She's like, oh, the water nymphs are protecting me with their bubble of beauty of wild things. Anyway, she's just like into the creek, and then like all the other little ones follow her, and the mom just stands on the side, like looking peaceful and beautiful. I hate people like that. I'm not that person. But anyway, so they're all out in the creek, like, and the little girl just like shoves her whole hand, and the water is like up to her short line. So she's out in the creek, yo. She just like reaches down the creek and like comes up with this giant mussel shell. Like the shells I guess they're mussel shells. I guess I probably should have researched that beforehand, but I didn't. I just guessed. Anyway, so we're finding ones that are like this big as a big one. And they're like as big as your pinky fingertip. And we're all excited about them. She's like, she rips up this one that's like as big as her kid hand. I totally got punked by like a 9-year-old. I'm like standing on the shore like, oh yeah, I totally knew there were giant shells in the water that my child would be so excited about if I found, and I could look kind of like a cool naturalist hero too. But yeah, no, I just didn't go in the water. Oh, hating punked by beautiful wild children. So they like proceed to be wonderful and crazy and lovely and frolicky. And then they leave. And immediately I'm like, roll up your pants, kid. We gotta go in there and look for shells. So we're like rolling up our pants. I'm wearing blue jeans, like I've got rolled up above my fat lady calves, like tromping through the water. And we're down there like looking through the shells. My daughter keeps, instead of bending at the waist, she keeps squatting in the water, so her butt is completely soaked. Our legs are turning like fluorescent red, but it was so much fun. So it was awesome, and we didn't take any of the shells home. I know if there's like a environmental biologist watching, they're probably thinking, you're ruining the natural environment with your crazy Americanness. But we didn't take them home. I let her take like one of this size home. The other ones we put back because I don't know. Those might be food for something. It didn't look like they were food for anything though. There was no nibbles out of them. But I'm sure it's like the cycle of nature, and I just jabbed my big fat hand in it and threw it off. Works, but yeah, whatever. So I didn't let her take them all home, in case you were wondering. But we did have lots of fun. So thanks, homeschool family of wild, beautiful children. You totally shamed me into having fun, and I appreciate you for that. I don't know who you are. You're definitely not watching this. I'm just sending it out to the universe that you're awesome. And speaking of awesome, crapsicles. Sorry, that was probably offensive. But what was in my head was worse. Thank you, everybody. I've gotten so many more nice emails, and so many more nice Ravelry messages, and so many nice plurkity-doos, and people add me as their friend. It's like the prom queen. It's totally not like that. It's not like that at all, because I wouldn't want to be that person, but it's so much fun anyway. Yo. It's been awesome, and thank you all so much. I've tried to thank everybody in person. If I have missed you, I'm really not a jerk. Maybe something happened. But I've tried to thank everybody personally, so I won't bother you too much with it right now, because I'm sure you're all like, shut up, lady. But I do want to say thank you to the podcaster people. A few of you mentioned me this week. And it was very cute and very exciting. I was just all like knitting, watching my little podcast that I like to watch. And then all of a sudden I hear the fat squirrel and I'm like, whoa, whoa. And they totally said nice things about me and that was really nice. So again, I thank them all in person, but I'm just going to say a small shout out because if you're watching me, you definitely watch all of them because they're like the upper echelons more so than me. But maybe it's the future. Like maybe it's 2040 and the Mayan calendar was wrong. And maybe you just found me for some random reason, but you don't know about them. And in case that's the future, then you should check out Diane from the Knittables because she's clearly awesome. Everybody knows that in this time, but maybe future people don't know that yet. But your archaeology will show that she is awesome. Also, thank you to the beautiful Dawn from the Wolf Farms podcast. She is very awesome. And she has very festive hair and it's red. Yay! And also she sells soaps. I'll just show this really quickly because I got a few things because she tricked me and sent me a free sample. Tricker. And so I went onto her website. I should just lose my computer. And so she sells bar soap, which I'm a total sucker for. Every time I go to Whole Foods, I could spend like 45 minutes in that stupid soap aisle. It's like a lot of matte packaging and pretty smells. I'm done. Write it off. I got a $5 bar soap. Whatever. So, but anyway, so I was looking at her website, but she has so many good smells that I couldn't decide because I was like, oh, ADD, surprise. So I got samples, but guess what? The samples are so awesome because look, you get like I could throw them up in the air joyfully. Ooh, you got some fat lady arm right there, didn't you? I could throw them up in the air joyfully and they could rain down upon me. And if it was raining, I would get clean at the same time. But that would be sad because I would lose some of my soap. But anyway, so she's awesome. You should check her out, okay? I'm sure you already have. And then also the lovely Kimberly from the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit, which, let's face it, that's a cute name, was also very kind to me. So all those people, super extra nice. But everybody else, also very, 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 very nice. And you're all awesome. Speaking of niceness, I'm just going to go right into this. Because I got my first ever Ravelry pattern gift. Isn't that cute? So, oh, here it is. I got really mad at myself for a second. I thought I had left it somewhere else. It is from Amanda, Knit Psycho. That could have totally been my Ravelry name, yo. You got to it first. Good job. And this is the Eloin shawl, which I had in my queue because look at it. Is this, oh, it's not going to focus because I have the autofocus off. But it's so stinking pretty, yo. Isn't it pretty? Two-color shawl. I'm liking that idea. I think that needs to be done more. So how nice is she? It was my first ever prize. Oh, and that's by, it's a Pearl Bumps design. I'll put the linky-loo down there. You should really look at it though. It's super pretty. I even used my color ink, which I'm a miser and never do. So it's that pretty, yo. Okay. The rest of the pattern is totally in black and white. I won't show you because that's copyright infringement or something like that. But it's very pretty. And thank you so much, Amanda. My first ever Ravelry gift. So fun. So yeah, thank you to everybody who were all awesome socks. And on to the knitting. Finish objects. My first finished objects, if you watched the first show, I talked about my beautiful grandmother who is so awesome. I can't even talk about how cute she is. She'll never see this, but I'm sending it to her right now. And so she's always cold, so she always wants dickies. So I got to knit some Elizabeth Zimmerman dickies for her. So I finished one more. That makes 4 in total. And now I am done with them for a while. I'm a pretty hardcore knitter. 4 of anything, too much. I mean, not 4 like candy bars. Well, that would be too much, but 4 those little ones. That is not too much of one thing, 4 of it. But 4 dickies, knit in sport weight on size US 3 needles, too much. No matter how lovely the recipient or how nice the yarn, too much. I'm done with that now. It was very hard for me not to add anger into that last one when I was knitting. I had to put it down every once in a while because I'd just be like, oh my God, could I just finish this then? So I just sit it down and be like, okay. Serenity now. And then I can pick it back up when because you know, when you cook with anger in your heart, you can taste it. Right? Right? You mess stuff up. tastes bad. So if you knit with anger in your heart, bad mojo happens. I don't know if it happens to you, but it might happen to the person you're giving it to. And that's not good, because usually if you're knitting something for somebody, you love them. So you don't want to add like spikes to it that make them bleed without knowing what's happening. So don't knit angry, yo. That's my public service announcement for the day. My husband just coughed again, sorry. It'll probably happen more than once. Double. Sorry. So yeah, second finished object. Sorry, Dickies von Beethoven, Elizabeth Zimmerman knitting around. Link. Second finished object. Look how cute. Is he not? And I'm kind of tired. I'm slightly depressed. He's like an emo monster. He's like, oh, I'm thinking about stuff. This is Joris. And he is by the fabulous pattern writer. She really is very good. Anita Wilshoot. And he is made of Regia Design Line 6-ply, which I said last time I think was probably a sport weight. Evidently, Ravelry lists it as a DK. And I knit him on US size 1s, 1.0s, not 1.5s, which is ridiculous for a DK, but I'm a real loose knitter, so. But by the end, quite frankly, when I got down here, oh, by the way, look how cute his little chicken feet are, yo. I don't know how the camera works. Yarp. He has totally like little chicken feet with little talon-y things on the back. How cute is that? But by the time I got there, again, I had to put it down because I was knitting with some anger. It's like fat yarn skinny needles. It's like trying to put me in like an elementary school desk. It's not good, yo. It's not good for anybody. But anyway, so isn't he cute? Don't you love him? I really do love him. I don't usually knit toys, but I think he's super cute. And I didn't knit, I come from sewers, and so when we stuff stuff, or like I was always taught to stuff, like me into the elementary school seat, I was taught to do that. Evidently you don't do that with knitting. I actually Googled like how to stuff an animal to make it look better than the last one I made, and they said no. And I agree, I think he looks way cuter, not as stuffy stuff. And also then he kind of looks more depressed, which is oddly charming. Why is that? I don't know. It is. He feels, people. He feels deeply. So I'm very pleased with him. Hopefully my little child will like him. She probably won't. But anyway, so those are my only finished objects. I don't know why I'm saying only. That's 2. That's totally respectable. Works in progress. I'm doing a pair of socks. They're called my Bridget socks. Mindful knitting is happening everywhere on this episode. So this is the second sock. The first one is done. And if I had a sock blocker, I did finally order some. Go me. But if I had a sock blocker, I'd show you the other one. But really, it's not. You can't really see it. But isn't that pretty? I'm liking it. I'll put it up as a free Ravelry pattern when I get done as like a thank you, world of Ravelry. You are very nice. And it is made with the Hazel Knits Artisan Sock base, and that is the Solstice colorway on US size 0s. Again, that's my normal sock size. It's just a little smaller than some people's. But yeah, isn't it pretty? Don't you love it? I love it. I should have really been working on it more. I started working on it again this weekend. I was like, this is totally pleasant. Why have I not been finishing it? I don't know. Monster ADD. Probably that. Oh. Also, the lovely Kimberly from Sock Bunny Knit and Fit is having a, sorry, I just dropped it. Be right back. Is having, see, fat girls can move fast, yo. Is having like a sock drive, I guess you call it, because her daughter is in missionary school, and so they need bed socks. And I thought, well, that's really a nice charity. Like, they're all trying to do good for the world, taking a vow of poverty, which I think is totally rad. I really admire that. So I thought I would knit one of those nice little girls' pair of socks. And look how bright they are. Wow, that's not the lighting. That is the actual color, yo. It doesn't really, yeah, it's a little bright. It kind of looks like it might be on the Sesame Street, but that's okay. Anyway, so they are, they just needed worsted or any kind of sock, as long as it's machine washable. And I went ahead and just knit a worsted one because, well, that sounds like a really nice charity, but let's face it, I'm lazy. So I have a hoe for the nice girls who've taken a vow of chastity. That's ironic. But anyway, that is made with the Washable You yarn in the colorway Clover, and I am making that on US size 3s. Oh, and I am using the Easy Peasy Sock pattern, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, and that is by Stacy Trock. I hope that's right. If not, I'll correct it when I do the notes. It's very easy. It's top down, which I don't usually knit, which is why you'll see that the toe is blue. That was not my intention when I started, but I measured my yarn and realized I was going to run out. So she got a super exciting blue toe on her very exciting green sock. So, yeah, so that's that one. I will go ahead and talk about my halyard right now. Kate Gilbert is the designer. It is a sweater, yo, and I am making it out of Blackwater Abbey yarns. Sorry. In their colorway Pippin, it's worsted, and I am knitting that on US size 7s. That's a little loose for me. Like, I kind of like my knitwear a little like more compact, but that's what the gauge was in the pattern, and that was one of the suggested gauges on the band around the Yarny Do. So I'm going to try to knit it looser, hoping that it'll maybe help with drape. I mean, you can only try, right? I mean, maybe you shouldn't try on a sweater, but that's how I roll. Anyway, it is a really beautiful pattern, and you should check it out. It is written as a pullover. It has a kangaroo pocket, so I've made some modifications. I like a cardigan, and really, to be quite frank, I really just want to make a zippy cardigan because that's so fun. And that makes it, I don't know, I feel like that makes it very wearable. So I'm going to go out on a limb and do a zippy cardigan. Just go do it. Double zip. And so that's one modification. I still am making it in the round. I'm just going to, well, actually, I have already steeked it. And so I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the edging, like where I'm going to put the zipper. The pattern itself is written for, and I don't think this is copyright because you can see it from looking at the picture, is written with I-cord trim. So I-cord around the neck, I-cord around the sleeves, I-cord around the bottom. It's knit top down as well. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Like if I just put the I-cord and then a zipper, I think maybe I'll do like a band with the cable down the middle. We'll see. I'm going to play with it. It's one of the reasons I kind of stalled on it this week. I think I was overthinking the process a little too much. But last week, I almost had the body done, but this week I did finish the body, and I also got a whole, that's not the right sleeve because that one's not finished, and I got a whole sleeve done. Yay! And it has, oh, this was another reason I got suckered into it, because it was pretty, and look, it has thumb holes. Clearly I'm too old to wear a thumb hole sweater, but whatever. That is like a facelift. Poor girl's facelift. And so it has this fun little detailing. By the way, I did jack this up. It's not supposed to go around on this outside one. It's supposed to just keep going out. But I kind of liked it after I jacked it up, so I kept it that way. Sometimes that's what they call a design feature. Unintentional, but pleasant, like a surprise. So I like it quite a lot. And instead of the kangaroo pocket, because obviously if I had to steek it, I was just afraid that I'm a big girl and I don't need a lot of extra like double thicknesses of worsted weight like right on my like lady tummy. But I do like the pocket because that's very wearable. I like pocketses, yo. So I didn't do a full kangaroo pocket. I am doing a pocket on each side. It is worked into the lovely side cabling. You can see here, like how pretty, and isn't that nice and organic the way that's done? And that is really the shaping to go down to the hip. So it's really a nice, again, you're incorporating a nice design into a very functional thing. But here's the pocket, which, oops, goes right there. It would be coming from this side, of course. But I left it open, just like a regular pocket, because I think what I'm going to do is actually do like a fun, bright fabric in there for I left like a band about that wide so it wouldn't show just when you're standing, or even maybe when you're putting your hands in the pocket. But I'm going to use like a contrasting colored fabric, like something festive, for the pocket itself. So that, again, I'm not adding a lot of extra bulk, but it's still a pocket, which is enjoyable to me. So yeah, it's a really great pattern. I've enjoyed knitting it. It's worsted weight, so it's not taken forever. That's a very nice thing. If you're not my upper end of the size spectrum, it will take even less time. Totally do it. So that's an excellent thing. Next thing is spinning. Oh, my bobbin is on the other table. Dang it. I'm trying to decide right now to get up. No, I'm not going to, because then I'll have to edit. It'll be a mess. But this is the one I showed you last week that I bought. See how long it took me to start spinning it. It's so stinking pretty, yo. This is Frenzen Fiber. It's a BFL silk blend, and this is her Chianti gradient. And you can see it goes from a brown to the green, and then you can kind of see like this. Ooh, I got all the purpley color done, so I'm really excited about that. It's spun up really nicely. I'm trying to do it really thin because it's a gradient. I'm trying to Navajo ply it to keep the colors together. If you're not a spinner, I have never Navajo plied. I need to practice on some scrappy yarn or something because I'll probably really mess it up. But I've been really trying to do a good job and like focus on slowing down, focusing. Two things I'm not good at. But hopefully it will be successful and I'll have enough to do something with. We'll see. I hope that's what happens. Yeah, so that's works in progress. Next, I will talk about Feed the Stash. Feed it, Seymour. Last week, I asked you all to punch me in the face psychically, and I did feel a few of those. Thank you very much. However, some of you really need to work on your psychic kickboxing skills because it was like very weak. It was anemic face punch. Meh. So, sign up for your psychic kickboxing classes, yo. I will be asking this favor again. It'll be the last time. I almost didn't buy anything. I was so close. And quite frankly, I had ordered something and was secretly hoping it wouldn't get here today so that I could pretend I hadn't bought anything. It didn't work out that way. But that's okay. That's all right. It was that silly pattern that the beautiful Knit Psycho gave me. I saw that pattern like last week and I just thought, this is so beautiful. And I immediately started looking for yarn to use for it. So that ended with a purchase. This, the camera is really not going to do it justice. I'm pretty sure. My face definitely does not do it justice. But it is the Woolen Rabbit. And this is, it's a sock base, I think. Harmony sock weight, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. And this is the Scottish Heather colorway. Now, purple and I have a love-hate relationship. A redhead, people always want you to wear purple, and I like purple, but it can be too blue for me, and then I don't like it because it just feels cold. However, this is beautiful, and it is like, I would say like a smoky lavender color, much like Scottish Heather, I'm assuming, looks. Yo, that's apropos. And it has even some like little flinges of like a dove and little, almost like a dovey, not a green, just like a suggestion of green. Anyway, it's so pretty. And then also I got the brown, which is, oh no, the little taggy dude fell off. Godiva, like I would forget it's called something chocolate. And it is, it's just a nice brown tonal, lots of different browns in it. And so I don't know. Originally, I thought this was brilliant, and I was so excited about my innovative color combination of brown and purple. And the purple does have some like taupey-ish, grayish sections. Now I'm not so sure. I may have been too innovative. So I may use a gray or something with it instead of the brown, because I knit with brown like constantly. I have everything brown, so maybe I should get a gray. Neither here nor there. You're like, dude, we don't care what you're gonna knit in 2 weeks. We'll see it. Just, we can wait. But anyway, so that's my internal monologue. And I guess that's it. I hope you all have a really good week. I hope the week's been treating you good so far, wherever you're at in the week when you see this. It's lovely here. I hope it's lovely where you are. I'm sure it won't be all the time, because that's not how the weather works. But I just hope you're enjoying your week, because I'm enjoying mine. And I won't forever, but for now, it's quite pleasant. Anyway, you can find me on Plurk and Ravelry, The Fat Squirrel. You can find show notes at thefatsquirrel.com. You can find my show, The Fat Squirrel Speaks, at iTunes and Blip. If you would be so kind, and you already have all been so kind, I know I'm taxing you quite a bit, but if you could all be so kind as to leave a starred review or a written review on iTunes for me or your other podcast people, your favorites. I mean, I won't be offended, but I see you not voting for me. You shouldn't. There are other way better ones. But if you could leave us a review, that would be really appreciated. It kind of just bumps us up so that people can find us more easily, because as I know, iTunes search is wonky. It just is. Apple people are brilliant, but their searching is weird. I don't like it. So take that, Apple. Apple does not care. That's okay. So that would be super duper nice, and we would all appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good week, and I will see you next week. Bye!